Hi everyone. A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening if you are joining from different parts of the world. My name is Rahul, and I will be coordinating with Manu Kapoor to establish a very strong understanding on what AI Labs is all about, which is a part of AI Search. That's one of the reasons you see my background as AI Search and Manu's background as AI Labs, where we have two different products. We are going to talk about how, what, and you know the problems that we are solving towards this particular using this particular product is what the entire objective is going to be. I'll just quickly give my introduction about what I have been doing with the product since I've joined. So my name is Rahul Srivastav. I report to the CEO here. I have about 10 years of experience into edtech and AI ecosystem, having worked in strategy, growth, program management, business development. Over the years, I have had an opportunity to work on multiple zero to one initiatives, helping organizations build and scale programs from ground up. Today, my work very closely focuses towards bridging the strategy with execution, ensuring that AI and technology initiatives don't just remain ideas but translate into real adoption. And to be very honest with you, the measurable outcomes, because now training companies or enterprises or any specific industry are not just looking for pilots, they're looking at how pilots can get actually to scale with right investment and adoption ROI. So I think over to you, Manu. Without further ado, I would want you to introduce yourself, and then
Sure.
maybe we can start with the webinar.
So, thank you, Rahul, for such a enlightening introduction. Hello, everyone. This side Manu, and I'm a brand marketing lead at AI Labs 365. I'm quite excited for today's webinar. I think Rahul has explained it pretty much what this webinar is going to all about and how we are going to, in what direction we're going to proceed further. But just wanted to add a couple of pointers here. At ELS 365, we are solving real-time, real-world problem, which I think is the playbook of this today's generation. We're looking forward, to have a more interactive session with you guys to understand your problems and our solutions and how we can, work in some different set of partnerships. So yes, very much excited. Over to you, Rahul. Let's start.
Mm. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining us. Here's how we will be spending next 30 minutes together. We are going to start naming the problem first. What are the key problems that the product will solve? Then we will look at how we can scale the product with multiple use cases that we have seen. We have worked very closely with institutions. We have worked very closely with certification bodies. We have worked very closely with enterprises. So we will be giving you three different case studies how we have solved those problems for our customers very recently. And of course, then we are going to talk about the features, how it really gets used to, and the best part is how it gets integrated in one click with your current ecosystem. So there are a few things that I'm going to cover here. The hidden cost of manual credentialing. We are going to talk about enterprise grade credentialing. We are going to talk about the badges, how the badges are going to be issued. And of course, we are going to also talk about the case studies that I mentioned, which is where we have certification body, we have global manufacturer as an enterprise system, and we have university exams, how these things get collaborated and how the product really solves it for it in itself. We will also try to look at a live look at how Search 365 and Proctor 365 looks like, so that you have a very brief and a very high level understanding on the product side. What deployment would look like is also going to be a part of this webinar. So we don't want to waste a lot of time. We will straight away go into the problem and how we are solving that problem. I think why certification operates break first in high growth APAC enterprises. First thing first, there we always have thought that this is going to be a staffing problem initially, but then of course, to be very very clear on the part that this is not really the staffing problem. There are three triggers that we have tried and identified. One of the triggers says that even if your regional teams are still handling issuance, renewals, and verification manually, of course, the chances are that they're during the audits or during credential issuance, there would be no tracking that can be done since it is manually verified, and all that it really eats up is the bandwidth of manual stuff. So that's where it's very important. Your team is spending hours every week on tasks that a system can actually do within seconds. So issuing credentials one by one, sending renewal reminders, finding verification calls, I would say manually tracking expiry. None of this work is bad. It's just that it shouldn't be done by a human, and that's where emerging technologies like AI and blockchain have been integrated for the ease of use, right? Second, if you see, your credentials are scattered. The LMS has one version, HR has another version. Someone keeps a spreadsheet. The actual PDF it might be in an email thread. When a regulator or an employer asks for proof, there is no single source of truth, and that's where the fragmentation and the scatteredness of, or the discreteness of the entire credentials really questions the credibility and authenticity of the credentials in itself. Third is your time is growing, and that on a very high level the volume is growing very fast, but infrastructure that is beyond what you actually have a control on is not growing. And that is where maybe now we see certification bodies, we see enterprises, we see academic institutions who are actually at 500,000, 1,500 certifications that were issued on a weekly, monthly basis. Now that has really gone up to 5,000 to 8,000 since admission processes started, since there's more seats available. Now they're expanding. So it is very imperative and important to understand that how can you really introduced, and how can you introduce a system which is easily scalable? How can you verify more than 5,000 credentials in one go? How can you ensure that you can issue 5,000 to 10,000 credentials in just 30 seconds, 60 seconds is what the product solves it for. Shrishti, I would like you to go to the next question. Before even we move on to the complete webinar, I would be very keen on understanding, everyone, if you are in the if you're attending the webinar, if you can please put it across into the chat, what is the biggest barrier to scaling certification across your organization today? I just want to keep it a little more engaged. I don't want to just have a monologue delivered, so that we understand, Manu, where the organizations are in their journey as of today when it comes to credentialing. So issuance of volume is decreasing faster or increasing faster than our teams can handle. Regional systems are fragmented and hard to govern centrally. Region reporting and audit visibility are inconsistent across markets. And of course, we lack automated control over expiry, renewal, and revocation. I would highly appreciate if at all, any one of you can put it on the chat, A, B, C, D. Manu, what's your take? I mean, what do you think? What is going to be the spread looking like? I believe that it is going to be A and D. Let's see what the options comes in. Everyone, please try to participate so that it becomes very clear to us to address the audience what kind of context is being given and what kind of audience is really listening to us.
I think
So
Rahul, you have rightly pointed out. My vote again to A is definitely going to be the one. But apart from D, I think C. If we think from the APAC market point of view, I think C is something which keeps my interest into. Let's see how the audience will respond to that.
I mean, if you say so, if C wins, this one is a quite risk. Expired credentials, inactive curriculum, or inactive circulations are a compliance issue waiting to be discovered. So I think that's really a bigger issue. If
Yeah.
A wins, of course, that's the most common answer we see, and it's usually signals that your team has built workflows around the limit of the tool and not the other way around. So I think pretty much that I wanted to talk about. Anyone, any? Yeah. So I think next is where we want to talk about the real gap. As I initially mentioned that um, AI labs, or I would say credentialing business today is not a staffing problem, that you don't get the right staff, the specialized staff to really solve the problem of proctoring, issuing certifications, and all of those things. But the way most organizations manage credentials does not scale, and this is the reason why, because they don't have the right infrastructure available. Look at the left column for few seconds, maybe 10 seconds, and now look at the right column. The distance between those two columns is not the staffing gap. You can hire whoever you want to, but if you see on the left hand very categorically, which is where most organizations manage credentials today, which is issued one by one. Renewables are tracked in a spreadsheet. Verification is handled on an email. There is no discovery dashboard or expiry dashboard. There is no visibility to the management. On the right side, if you see at scale, what actually requires is not what is just nice to have, but what the volume and the compliance really demand. 1,000 credentials issued in seconds, verification under 1 second, global around the clock. So it is not restricted to the time zones where the person is working on. Revocation that takes effect everywhere instantly, since it is blockchain based certification issuance platform. Uh, it is very difficult to I would say manipulate the data as well. So here's what is very important, that every row on the left maps to a real cost. If you logically align this, either staff hours, compliance risk, or both, and the gap between columns does not close on its own. It widens every time your credential volume either increases by certain margins or percentages. The gap between these two columns is not a staffing gap. Again, I want to reflect on the same thought. It's an infrastructure gap, and it widens every time your team tries to scale it up. So I think that's what I wanted to talk about, on a high level with respect to the problem statement, and really trying to make everyone understand that the problem statement does not really lie in the fact that you have a staffing problem. Now let's go to the category problem. Why there is a lot of introduction in the PDF side and all of those things, why there's a lot of dependency on the PDFs, and not really, which is something easily automatable. So I think if you go on to the next slide, Shrishti, it would be great. I just wanted to solve and say everything about the category in itself. So I've mentioned about a 3 into 3 grid here. If you see certificates, digital badges, enterprise credential, infrastructure. So I think certificates was a legacy model. Of course, back in 90s, it was very relevant. Then came digital badges, and then of course came enterprise credential infrastructure. So if you have already moved to digital certificates or badges, or you are still feeling the strain, this slides explain why. You haven't done anything wrong. You just have been given the wrong category of the tool that you are supposed to use, or you are being using it. Certificates were built for one time completion events. That's what certificate is. A document, it was often a document, often a PDF, issued once, no expiry mechanism, no certification layer, no audit trail. So I think digital badges improved that, and it became more shareable on metadata. It became more easily usable. It became more visible. And then, of course, from an institutional level, it became an individual's achievement. There is no governance layer, no automated expiry, no enterprise audit infrastructure. And that's where, beyond digital badges, if I want to really name some of the companies like Credly, Pearson, Mercer, we are still living in digital badges. Where we need to really move on to is enterprise credential infrastructure, what APAC operations actually requires. And in fact, just to be very honest with you, this is not just restricted to APAC. This is the same thing we have seen in GCC and we have seen in Africa. I would not be talking about, of course, Manu, US on a high level, because we know that US on a high level is going to have an infrastructure layer of AI, but the application layer of AI would be built in house in countries like India, Singapore, Malaysia, South Africa, or maybe Saudi, UAE, right? So that's where we see high level change. So one time issuance, static PDF, no expiration control, manual verification only, no audit trail, built for individuals is what was the initial problem. And where we really want to go ahead is full life governance, policy driven automation, automated expiry, renewable revocation, and API driven products. So cert 365 is not just a certificate platform, it's enterprise grade credential infrastructure. So now, what does it actually cost you to keep running the wrong category as a tool? I have just tried putting some numbers to it. Shrishti, if you can go on to the next slide. These four numbers, or I would say these three numbers, typically describe the hidden cost of carrying a wrong infrastructure. Every one of them gets dramatically better when the system does not work. 4 to 6 week time to prepare credential records just for compliance audit under manual. 30 to 50 hour week staff time consumed by manual verification. Let me be very honest in telling everyone, when we developed this product specifically back in 2023, this particular stats that you see on the board is still very conservative that we have considered. The actual stats were more than 30% of what we have today. So if I'm saying, let's say about 6 weeks, it was around 8.59 weeks very easily. And that's where we have just taken very considerable and convenient and very uh, polished numbers which reflect the real value of the product, and not just something which is fluff or which is just in the air, right? So 10,000 plus credentials per minute search 365 can issue versus hours it takes to process them manually. So I think on a high level, if I want to really talk about 6 to 4 weeks, that's the time it takes to prepare a credential record for compliance audit when everything is manual. 6 weeks where someone on your team is reconstructing the history instead of doing their actual job. So I think if you talk about 10,000 plus credentials per minute, that's what search 65 can use. Compare that to hours it takes to process them manually. It isn't a 2x improvement, it's a category shift in itself. So there is no cost that there is. I would say this is not just the cost of bad process, it's the cost of wrong infrastructure. Every one of these numbers gets better significantly when the system really does not work. And as we say, every time we see the number is increasing, every time the number gets increases, the cost doubles down. So I think at least on a high level, this is the hidden cost that we want to talk about. It's no more certificates, it's no more digital badges, but it is more than digital badges, which is where it is enterprise infrastructure that we have developed for credential flow. So I think there are 4 to 5 workflows that I have developed and I have put in on the chat. If you can put it, it'll be easy for everyone to understand. Here is the, I would say, I'm not sure, but if it is the right word, but here's the litmus test, for whether your credential system is infrastructure ready or not. If any 5 things out of this fails, then your infrastructure in itself becomes a bottleneck. Keep it tight. I'll just take 10-15 seconds to give everyone an understanding on what I'm trying to say. If you talk about credential issuance, it should be triggered by system. Once the exam is passed, the course is completed, the approval is granted, not a person who is sending a note or a file randomly by checking it manually, who is working in a specific time zone. And if you are a global company, someone is working in US, someone is actually issuing it based out of Singapore, it does not really make sense. So renewal notification, the system detects approaching expiry and notifies the holder within 90 days, 30 days, and that can be customized as per your requirement. Expiration enforcement, when a credential reaches its expiry date, it becomes invalid automatically across every system. So every verification point, it tries to drive the verification at every point, not when someone really notices, which means that we are more proactive rather than being reactive. Revocation, of course, one action instantly effective everywhere, not a list update, not a platform to chase. So I think when we issue so many certifications at a go, and you feel that something has happened at the back end where you would have issued certifications to people who really don't uh, you know deserve it, and then you want to really revoke it, it takes another 30 seconds. On a click of button, you can actually revoke it. So uh, there are some high level grade requirements. This is high level checklist that I have given it to you, but I have just prolonged and elongated that checklist in the next slide. If you can go on to the next slide, Shrishti, it would be great. I want to give everyone a very clear and clean understanding of this is why it is required. uh, you know if you talk about the checklist, this is the checklist. If your system can't do all 5 of them, you are of course not running the right infrastructure. So again, life cycle governance, immutable audit infrastructure, machine readable verification, regulated structured reporting, and automated policy enforcement. I think all of these things are really made to ensure if your current credential system cannot do all 5, your organization is carrying a compliance risk and it does not know how to measure. I would really, really appreciate everyone to put it in the chat if they have any questions around the credentialing, how and who is the audience for it. If you are a training company, you are an academic institution, you are a certification body, or you are a large enterprise, this becomes ease, and it really helps you managing your credentials through and through for the entire ecosystem that you have developed, which has very strong technology behind it, which is blockchain. This is not an AI driven product. It's a complete different product, which is blockchain based products. So we have also answered why certifications fail. In the bottom of it, if you see, you will be able to understand, no issuance record, no revocation log, no institutional accountability. So we have tried, identifying what are the problem statements with every levers, so that you can uh, get hold of it. And if you have any questions, concerns around anything that you would like to ask us, feel free to ask about it in the chat. Secondly, we will also be talking about the product demo. We will also be taking you through the pricing structure, but pricing is something which is very tier specific. We would be Our customer success managers or partner success managers would reach out to you in case if you really want to understand how this can be resell how it can be resellable to academic institution, training companies, or anywhere wherever you see the use case. So I think, if you go on to the next slide, uh, what certification control at scale looks like in practice. So there are three enterprise scenarios where we have discussed, where I would quickly want to take you through the three scenarios, and Manu, then I would want you to take them everyone through us about one important aspect, which is what are the key features, how the product looks like, what is the integration cost, and how do we ensure that we are digital first or AI first, or I would say, we are actually transforming, or we are doing digital transformation using the right technology instead of just doing it for a checklist purpose. So I think the challenge here is, in the first scenario, one of our customers, uh, I would like to not name the customer, but I would really want to tell that this is one of the certification body based out of Singapore, and they had this where they had to issue more than 50,000 active certifications across multiple APAC markets, manual renewal tracking across multiple credential types, and regular regulator or partner review requiring complete certification history across markets with limited preparation time. So I think this was a challenge given to us. It took about almost 8 weeks for us, 7 weeks to precisely get into the entire solutioning around it. And then, after discovery, we did the solutioning and we presented the scenario, and finally we got a go ahead. We created instances for them, and then we solved the problem. So automated renewal workflows with policy enforced expiry, no certification stays active past its date, complete blockchain or anchored audit trail for every certification action, ready to state ready to state the board review at any time, instant revocation in case if we have done any issues while actually giving up the certification, and employer API access, which is real time, which gets integrated very easily with your current systems. So central control established across markets, audit ready. Now if someone is actually monitoring something at Singapore, and they have clients in India, or they have clients in Africa, or they have clients anywhere for that matter, there's a huge difference of 4.5, 5 hours, with respect to the time zones, and that's where the problem got solved. So the scale win was certification governance standardized across market, and they were very happy. And they currently issue more than 10,000 per month, though 50,000 was the number that was quoted in the earlier scenario, but it became 10,000 per month, which is about almost 1,20,000 per year. So pretty much that I wanted to talk about the first scenario. If you go on to the second scenario, I think it is more about the enterprise operations, wherein an APAC. This is something that I can not name it again, but this is one of the very big organizations that we worked with. We are still working with them, of course, but now the scope of the work has increased a lot. Initially, it was just to solve for credentialing. Now we have developed proctoring tool, so the proctoring and credential goes hand in hand. Proctoring is one of the product which is AI proctoring tool, where you don't need human to proctor the exams, and certificate issuance platform Cert 65 is where you get the issuance done. So I think the real time certification dashboard, live status, and an objective way of looking at organizations readiness towards any particular training was the need for an hour, and that's where we solve it using Cert 365. Of course, I just wanted to tell everyone that this got really prolonged, and it took about I'm not sure, Manu, if you are aware about it since you are involved with the product. It was, I think, 15 to 18 weeks. But then now we have integrated the complete solution, which is where we have proctoring and search together. So pretty much that I wanted to talk about. If you go to the next slide, Manu, Shrishti, this is where the regional training and certification network works very simply. If you are a training company, you do a lot of mock assessments. You want to create a lot of mock assessments, or you want to really improve the quality of the certificates that you distribute today. Right now, you are distributing certificates which are very handmade, or maybe I would say manually created using multiple tools, but it does not really add value since there is no verification in it. Here the problem statement was very clean to us that we wanted, and this is something that we have multiple training partners. We have about 300 plus training partners across APAC, US, EMEA, and GCC. We have about almost 15% of the partners right now using those particular uh, tools in their current ecosystem. And why it is 15%? Because this product has been introduced very recently in the month of February, and that's one of the reasons. Since AI search has been into the ecosystem for about 3 4 years, and of course we have made these content and context, it took a lot of time. But then of course, we have 15 to 18% usage right now. We want to use make that usage to 80% usage so that everyone uses it. But on a high level, all our partners are using proctoring tool, which is where we have non-human proctoring involved, because our certifications that we have, AI certifications, are also completely integrated with the same platforms. So pretty much that I wanted to talk about, in the first three scenarios that we have solved the problem for. I think over to you, Manu, if you can take us through, the product features, how the infrastructure looks like, what is the deployment cost, integration cost, and the pricing part of it.
Sure. Thank you, Rahul, so much for this elaborative thoughts. I also learned a couple of new things regarding my product itself from the market point of view. So thank you again. And yes, I'm very much excited, everyone, to give you guys a glance what product is all about, how we are building it, and obviously the pricing and the strategy, how we want to place ourselves in the market. So yes, definitely certification then definitely can help you to prove your completion. But here, when we talk about from Search 365 point of view, we are an infrastructure that is what reserves to control at scale. Enterprise grade credentialing infrastructure we are, and we're definitely helping organizations, governance, compliances, and institutional accountability at scale. So if you just really want to have a certification in place, definitely you can do that. But if you want really some enterprise grade scaling at your company, and definitely we are one of a unique product in the market, and we have multiple set of unique offerings for you. Sisti, you can go to the next slide, please. Yes, thank you so much. So this is how we're introducing Search system into the system. The infrastructure layer behind scalable certification operations. So we divided into four set of major crux we have. One is credential lifecycle control, blockchain anchored authenticity, then we have instant API and QR verification, and compliance ready audit infrastructures. So I'll just take on the step one, that is credential lifecycle control. Issue, renew, expire, revoke, whatever you have in your mind, whatever you have things in your place in the company, definitely you can build on a product. Second is blockchain anchored authenticity. Definitely, we are a cryptographically signed issuance. Once the certificate is issued, once the tamper certification is done, there is no duplicacy, there is no tamper of the product gonna get happen, because obviously it's on blockchain technology. Then instant API and QR verification. Definitely, wherever you are, you just one click away to get the certificate verified. You can again cross check multiple times at your time zone. Machine readable across HR, LMS, and compliance platforms. So we are compliance to everything. And obviously, compliance, when we talk about from compliance ready or infrastructure, we are definitely complying with FERPA, SOX, GDPR, ISS, and all set of major compliances body. So the best part is definitely we can issue 1,000 certifications can be delivered in a span of under 16 seconds, and 10,000 plus definitely in a span of minute. We are enterprise ready solution. So yes, I'm very proud to be a part of, to deliver all these stats to you. Next slide, please, Srishti. Okay, so now let's talk about how this actually the whole system works, and how the complete life cycle, how we do that. So from issuance to deliberation to governance, verify, report, renew, revoke, we have a 6 steps, multiple hierarchy, and that's how we follow this step, so that each and every nuance is covered, and each and every problem is covered, and everything will be in a seamless process. So first is issuance, definitely bulk. Either you can do a single certification issuance, or you can have a bulk certificate issuance by uploading multiple set of Excels or whatever the LMS or database system that you're using. Deliver. Automated email delivers with logs and entry handling. Recipients gets credential into instant, no manual handoff. All the process is totally automated. There is nothing as such as manual intervention. So there is 100% accuracy that the system can gonna get delivered to you if everything's is process aligned to the system. So yeah, govern, definitely we are rule-based controls. Definitely you can apply multiple set of controls as per your need. You can configure expire threshold. It can be done on a 90 days period, 30 days period, or 70 period, depending upon the kind of certification that you guys are offering to the end customer.
Now, Manu, just to add one thing here to everyone, that every step in this pipeline is completely automated, where you
Yes.
don't need a manual intervention. And one thing that you just talked about, govern, is where we have role-based control. So there is admin, there can be super admin, there can
Yeah.
be multiple admins if you want to include the right person with reporting in place, that who can really have the right authority to issue the certifications. If you are a training company, if you are a HR company where you want to issue it for multiple HR certifications, if you do, you have the complete access. You can get the access, and every access has a different masking mechanism where who what can be seen in that particular access. So I think I just wanted to help in understanding this, that every step in this complete pipeline is automated, and that's how
Yeah,
the
I think
modern.
I think Rahul has made a point very much clear. Yes. Now, looking at the next step, verify, report, and renew. Definitely, you can verify. Since we are using block technology, there are QR verification, instant, just a span of a click. You can verify all set of credentials. From the reporting point of, we have a specific set of dashboards that we have automated created for you. You can obviously create your own set of dashboards as per your metrics, as per your compliances, as per your company policy. This is something definitely you can plug and play, and you can play around. Renew and revoke, definitely you can set the time limit of all those certifications that you got issued. It can be 7 days, a month, a year, how many years you want. Definitely you can, and the best part is you can instantly revoke that also if something is not going around well. So yeah, this is what scaling certification without losing control looks like operationally. Centralized, the centralized governance with automated execution and instant visibility at every stage. So everything is transparent, everything is automated. There is no manual intervention, so there is 0% chance of an error. And yes, obviously with the help of governance and all those compliances in place, so you can plug and play. So we have made system from scratch to enterprise grade scaling infrastructure. Yes, Srishti, you can move to next slide, please. Okay. So this is very important slide. I want everyone to have a dedicated focus on for next 15 or 20 odd seconds. What exactly are the operational challenges before CERT 365 is in the system, and what are the things that have been improved if CERT 365 is in your system? So yes, first of all, it's definitely from the audit preparation point of view. Before 365, it is usually takes between 4 to 6 weeks of manual, reactive, complete dedicated process to reach all those set of compliances, all those set of issuance, all set those certifications. But yes, with CERT 365, everything is on demand. You can buy in a span of a single click. You can issue multiple set of credentials, multiple set of certifications. It is completely automated process. Expiration enforcement before CERT 365, obviously expired credential circulating undetected. So most of the certificates that were issued on paper certificates, college degrees, there are multiple fake forgery certificates that happen circulate across the market. So there is no such process to compliance it, to make it verifiable. But with certs, everything is automated. Nothing is active past it. So once there has been a expiration date, after that it's automatically get revoked. Third is verification. Obviously, before search is right, obviously the very kind of verification that happens through emails, that happens through phone, manual lookup, days to week. But with search, with the API and with the QR under 1 second, and we are available 24/7. So there is no manual lag, manual time zone difference and everything. Everything happens so digitally, so fastless, so seamless. So just a span of couple of seconds, you are done and through. Revocation, no universal mechanism. Every company follows certain set of standards, certain set of policies, but with search system in place, everything is instant across all verification points simultaneously. Compliance reporting, obviously under pressure, incomplete because of manual intervention, but with search, continuous real-time dashboards, always current. You can see your dashboard 24/7 visibility. So yes, This is something that's need to take on. Fraud risk with manual intervention in place and human error, 2 to 5% with the standard documents is a normal, but with certs, it's near to zero with cryptographic stealing. Staff overhead, yes, which Rahul has explained pretty well, 30 to 50 hours a week on verification, but with certs, 95% reduction through automation. So everything happens seamlessly in a span of seconds. Within a minute, you will be able to deliver 10,000 plus certificates. So these numbers are huge numbers, and we are continuously growing and continuously increasing our workflow, automation. So everything will definitely the number gonna become quadruple, triple in a span of a couple of months. So yeah, this is something which is very exciting to look for. Yeah, Srishti, next slide, please. Okay, so this is very important poll. I want everyone to just give 20 seconds. So which part of certification control would have the biggest impact across your APAC organized operations? Sorry. So first is centralized issuance across team and market. B is instant verification with local manual follow-up. Third is automated lifecycle control across every credential type. And D is real-time reporting and audit visibility across the region. So if someone has any, has any opinion, they want to, point it out, whatever the things that you're facing. So we love to, have your polls on your chat and understand what exactly in what stage of, credential infrastructure you are in.
Manu, meanwhile, if they write it, I just wanted to talk to you about this, that, uh, everyone, you can just write it in the chat. If A wins automated issuance bulk delivery, learn into, I mean, then they have to lean into issuance demo, bulk upload, template flexibility. If B wins, it's instant verification, spend extra time on the verification flow, QR scan flow, API endpoints. I would say employer experience. That is what one of our customers told, right? So verification overhead is most visible with the non-technical stakeholders, I would say. And if C wins, it's automated expiry revocation, where emphasize policy, where policy comes into place, that someone with some uh, random credibility cannot be awarded with a certification or a certificate. And if D wins, then frame this as, I would say, a compliance policy, or I would say compliance defense. The team that owns this usually is the one carrying the most risk in the entire orgs. So if I want to tell you A, B, C, D, this is where some things are being solved by the policy, some things are being solved by spending extra time on the verification side of things, and some are really solved by compliance. So this is where all the four, be it compliance, be it ease of use with respect to automation, be it verification through QR codes on a blockchain based systematics platform, and be it having a governance mechanism, all these flexibilities are really being added in the system, which helps the end admin to utilize it and really put it across. Over to you, Manu.
Sure. Thank you, Rahul. Okay. Srishti, can we move on to next slide? Yes. So what your team stops doing the week after Surge C65 goes live. So if you are able to deploy Surge C65 product in your system, what exactly, how the things gonna, how the workflow gonna change for you? So chasing renewals market by market, obviously we're gonna solve this problem for you. Pulling records from disconnected regional system, definitely this is gonna get solved. Handling country level verification requests manually, all those manual interventions, all those manual flow will be done by automation. Discovering policy gap only during review or reviews and audit, this is going to get solved because everything will going to be compliance ready for you. Rebuilding reports every time every time leadership asks from the regional view. So we have 24/7 live dashboards, KPIs, everything in place. So you can go plug and play, download reports, and you can present it to your leadership at any point of time. So all these things we're gonna solve for you. This is a real use case. I think most of the which Rahul has already explained. The clients that you were already using have given us these feedbacks. We are doing great in that. So definitely looking forward to that. Please next slide. Yeah. So I think the screenshots of the product demo is not justifying the kind of product that we have in the market. So I will definitely urge everyone after this webinar got over to visit our websites ailabs365.ai, search365.ai, and proctor365.ai to review a different set of products. And obviously our team will get back to you. But just to give you guys a real scenario, so obviously you can see the screenshots from Search 65 dashboard point of view. everything has been tracked. You can create your own set of certification. We have put an amount of templates for you guys. You can plug and play around with your logos, the kind of certification that you want to design. You can definitely do that. With 365 analytics dashboard, you can see how many certificates got delivered, got accessed, and you have delivered. So all these things, everything is in place. Real-time credential analytics plus compliance tracking, monitor issuance, verification, revocation, everything related to your certifications and automation is definitely in that dashboard we have for you.
Just,
Uh,
just, just to add here, Manu, I think I just wanted to add the
yeah,
best part here would be so everyone. I think there are almost 20 people attending the webinar. I
yeah,
would really urge if you have any questions, feel free to put it on the chat. But what we can do next is, Manu, you are also involved into a lot of product demos. So I think you and the business team can actually do a one-on-one with the people who are actually attending, and if they're keen on it, you can
yeah.
do a one-on-one demo, and once they like the product, then you can take it forward from then on with the business teams.
Definitely, definitely. Uh, yes, yes. So I would just, with the interest of time, just want to highlight a couple of pointers. We have tied up with all set of possible integration that you can see on the right hand side of the screen. We have tied up with Zoom. We are tied up with HubSpot. We are tied up with Zapier. We are tied up with Notion. So all those major integration player in the market, which every enterprise is using by one way or the other, we are there. You just need to plug and play our product in your system, and we're ready to go. It's not going to take much time. So I really want, I really appreciate everyone which Rahul has shared. So if you really want to have product demos, want to understand product in detail, definitely you can reach out to us, and we can definitely book a one-on-one session with the product team, with the development team, whatever your queries you have, we're happy to help you guys. Yes, Rishi, next slide, please. Okay. I think Search 365 is a part of professional institution. So Rahul has already introduced, we have two set of products. One is Proctor, that is more into assessment, exam proctoring software, assessment integrity, and we have Search. So we call a combination of these two products called AI Labs 365. We are closed loop infrastructure where we deliver each and everything. We are the only company as of now in the market, I can proudly say that is delivering these set of values, these set of offerings to our end customer. None of our competition, either they are into search, either they're into Proctor, but we are giving you a complete set of infrastructure. That is our USPs. That's how we want to position ourselves in the market. So when we talk about from Proctor, definitely ensure every credential issued is backed by a verified fraud-free assessment, which has to be through AI driven, which has to be automated. So there is no human error as such. And search system, we have already explained to you what search system is all about. Converts verified assessment into governed credentials that organization can rely on and defend. So these are the major set of product offering. I think Rahul, if you want to add any point here, and we are good to go. After that,
No, I think this is pretty much. I think to sum up everything, AI Labs is one of the products where the intersection of technologies like AI and blockchain comes in, where rarest of rare applications of AI and blockchain together comes in, and where we have a complete suite where it is interconnected. You
yeah,
take proctoring, you take certs from a integration standpoint. It is all very seamless. It gets integrated with the APIs using APIs, and then that's how we run the entire system. So I think a lot of problems that we have seen, every customer of Search 365 now is moving to proctoring as well, because there's a huge use case. If you create assessments, if you want to create, let's say you want to do AI readiness assessment today, and tomorrow you have an org check where you have to show them that where your team members are in AI readiness today. You can use Proctor 365 that helps you create your own questions, own assessment, and of course, no one can cheat in that assessment because it's completely AI powered. Even even if within uh, within an eyeball movement, or maybe you if you try to open up a new tab, you try to open up anything, it catches everything. The sensitivity of the tool in itself is very highly maintained, and I think that's where the sum up of the entire webinar would be, that we are one of those providers who brings in two technologies together, proctoring and search. Search is based on blockchain, proctoring is based on AI, and we have completely integrated the entire ecosystem with multiple consumers right now who are utilizing this product on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis. uh, the pricing, I think, demo of the product, we would like to do it on a one-on-one basis your requirement. We don't want to waste everyone's time here, but we would appreciate if you can fill in the form, or if you can drop in your chat email IDs in the chat. Any which ways, Manu, your team and you can actually contact all the people who are there, the 20 people, and if they like to have a demo, feel free to have a one-on-one call with the business teams. They would be able to give you the right pricing. As of now, if I want to talk about the standard pricing, that is already there in the website, but of course the pricing in the website is for the people who come and take directly from website. There are multiple pricing around the tiers that has been designed for multiple partners in different countries. So tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. Let's say India is mapped under tier 4. Singapore is mapped under tier 1. So the pricing difference is based on the GDP, based on the buying propensity of the end users. Feel free to take advantage of one-on-one sessions. These one-on-one sessions are being I think, I'm not sure, Manu, but if this was last time a time bound activity, so if it's time bound, by 31st of May everyone can take a free one-on-one demo sessions. If you're available, feel free to take it with team, and wishing you all the best. Thank you so much for joining in. What is the I think there are questions coming in. I think Sebastian has asked a very great question. What is the minimum number of certificates that would benefit from this solution? Do you already have customers in Japan? Of course, we have one of the companies called Treno Kate. I'm not sure you have heard about them. They are our customers. What is the minimum number of certificates that would benefit from this solution? I would say, if at all you have a use case of 300 to 500 certificate issuance per year also, you would still not need one or two resources that you have deployed for those set of people. So that is also, we have customers who have purchased 500 certifications that they want to issue a month or a year, versus someone who have 10,000 certificate issued a month. So it depends upon the use case. But if you have 10, 20, 100 certifications in a year, then it is something that I would not suggest. But if you have more than 300 and 300, I think it will make sense. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. If you have more questions, feel free to ask. We are there. Otherwise, feel free to take the advantage of having a one-on-one sessions with Manu and his team. They are demo ready. They have the pricing in hand. Whatever you want to ask, they will be the right people to help there. Feel free to ask. And thank you so much for joining in this webinar. Shrishti, over to you if you have anything to add on to this. I think the certificate, the attendee certificate, will be sent back to all the attendees by the end of the webinar, and the recording will also be shared with them. Am I correct in saying that, Manu, Shrishti?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
definitely.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a great week. Thank you.